No is a complete sentence in that order, right? And so if you are watching this video right now, maybe you're struggling with burnout. Maybe you're struggling with telling people no, right? With trying to do all the things in your business. And listen, I get it. As a CEO, we wear a lot of hats, right? Especially as small startup businesses. But there's a way that you can set boundaries in your business. And that is exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you guys in today's video. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then definitely make sure that you stay tuned. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and let's dive into the content. So the first thing that I will tell you that is so important if you're struggling with business burnout or burnout in general is to be able to set boundaries. Now, a lot of people throw boundaries around, and it's kind of thrown around in this way that honestly, I feel like is not very clear, or everybody has a different perspective or a different just level of understanding of what a boundary is and like how to truly set them. So I'm going to share with you guys what I think is important for you to do as a business owner specifically, right? To make sure that you set boundaries. The first thing that you have to understand is that no is an absolute complete sentence. Okay. And I led by that with that earlier in the video, but it's absolutely true. And I think the more that we realize that, the better off we are. So sometimes no is saying no to your family. Sometimes no is saying no to somebody even that you're working with. Sometimes no is saying, you know what? I can't do that today, but I can get back with you on X, Y, and Z date. Because what I realize is that everybody's situation or whatever they need is a priority to them, but it is less of a priority to you, to myself even, when it affects your how you feel and when it affects what you're able to contribute in other areas that's very important in your life. So a great example of this, guys, is let's say that you are working with a friend or a colleague, and let's say that they want you to have a deliverable by Friday, which is like in 2 days, right? Versus by Monday. Now, the reality is that you can do it. Like you could do it, right? Like you could push some things aside. You could probably maybe, not go run an errand or whatever the case may be so that you are able to do that thing and push that date up. But notice that you're sacrificing something because you're now prioritizing something that is a priority for someone else. And I think that as we build relationships, like relationships really and truly, it's a give and take, right? It's not all one sided. But with that being said, we have to honor the schedule that we have for ourselves. We have to honor when and how we need to show up so that we can continue to move the train forward in whatever areas that we're moving it forward. And so that really gets deep the more that you start to really just be active, and the more that you start to continue to try to grow and to scale in doing what you're doing. Now, for myself, I'm really busy, right? I work full time. I have my cleaning company. I am also a coach. I'm a mother, right? And I have I have a whole life, right? That I have to take care of. But the reality of the situation is that I could not do everything that I do if I did not respect the time frame to make sure that I have the discipline to continue to do what it is that I need to do. Does that make sense? So if I allowed everybody else to impede upon my time and to impede upon what it is that I know I need to get done, then I know I would not be able to do the things that I do, right? Or if I did, I probably would be half dead, right? So we have to, it goes back to the boundaries. And I'm not saying that you have to do it in a nasty way. You could say, no, unfortunately, I wish I could, but it's just not, the timing isn't good for me. But I tell you what, I will be able to do it first thing on Monday. I got you on Monday, but I just can't do it in the next couple of days. And that's it. And the person probably will say, okay, like that's fine. I can wait till Monday, right? But sometimes we're so fast and we're so quick to just say, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Okay, yeah, I'll do it. And before you know it, you have a whole list of things that you're now doing that you're now taking on your back and adding to your plate. And so the things that you need to get done to push your needle forward, you're not able to do it, right? So that's the main key takeaway that I want you guys to understand. The second thing that is really important is you have to have some type of schedule that you stick to. Okay. And so I'm not saying that your schedule has to look like my schedule, right? And I wonder if I have my planner here. Nope, just I got a new microphone, guys. That's what's here, all this mess. But I don't have my planner in front of me, but I will show you step by step how I kind of break out, my day. Even if I'm working, right? Even if I'm working and then I'm working my business later or something like that. But I will show you in another video exactly like my planning method and how I do that. But the bottom line is you have to have a planner that is going to assist you in getting everything done and understanding where you're spending your time. So a planner for me is twofold. Is one, to plan, but then it's also a way that I can go back and look and see, wow, what tasks did I do? What am I doing more of? So that I can see what are some things that I might be able to outsource. And even if you're not at the point where you can outsource now, guess what? Someday in the future, that is going to be the goal that you're going to want to outsource. So those are just some key areas and some key things that I think is just so important, especially as you're starting your business, as you're growing, to be able to look at your metrics, to look at where you're spending your time so that you truly know what to outsource on, because as you grow, you have to set boundaries with the people that you hire as well, right? So all of this works together. The third thing that I think is just so critically important to avoid burnout in your business is to just take a pause, take a moment, take a step back sometimes, and just really relish in your success. I will tell you guys, this is one area that I can definitely say this year I've improved upon, but I would go so hard, I would go so fast, go from A to Z. And sometimes I would realize like, I'm not even taking a step back to see, wow, like I did X, Y, and Z in the first quarter and I need to celebrate that, right? Like sometimes we go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, but we have to take a pause sometimes and just say, I did that, right? And to celebrate that and to just woo-saw for a moment before we go on to the next project. And I think for me, I've been doing that with this channel, right? And you see on my board, I don't know if you can read my board, but it says trust the process, right? And it's something that I teach my as I'm coaching as well, because in everything, not just in business, in everything, we have to trust the process. Because if you don't, you will look at your here and now as your tomorrow and as your forever. And that is absolutely not ever, ever, ever the case. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there, but I hope that you found some of these tips and just real, experiences that I've shared to really assist you to avoid burnout, for yourself and in business as well. If I can help you along the way, please make sure that you check out my one-on-one coaching. It will be linked below. In my one-on-one coaching, I'm able to assist you with just answering any questions that you have and just support you along your journey as well. Sometimes you just honestly need an accountability partner, but then also someone that you can ask questions, to as well. So I would love to support you. And then also make sure that you subscribe here on YouTube. If that's where you're watching this video. We are growing. So I'm really excited and would love to welcome you to our YouTube family. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and we'll talk on my next video. Cheers, guys.